What if I told you Hades 2 might already be better than the first game, and it's not even finished yet? Yeah, I said it. This is the sequel to one of the most beloved roguelites of all time, a game that won Game of the Year awards, became a cult obsession, and somehow made dying over and over again feel like progression. So how do you follow that up? Well, if you're Supergiant Games, you go bigger, deeper, and somehow weirder. Let's start from the top. Hades 2 is a direct sequel to the original. This time, you play as Melino, sister of Zagreus, and a full-blown witch. Your mission is to stop Kronos, the literal titan of time. At no pressure, it dropped onto early access back in May 2024, and from that moment, people got their hands on it. One question started bouncing through every YouTube comment section, every subreddit, and every Discord server. Is it actually better than the original? Because here's what people are realizing. Hades 2 in early access has more content than the first game did at launch. You got more weapons, more biomes, more gods, and more dialogue. It's not even at 1.0, and it already feels like a complete game. The combat is faster, tighter, and Melino doesn't just slash. She casts, she weaves, and she throws moon magic like a supernatural ninja. Her kit is built around a dance between melee and sorcery, and once you get onto the rhythm, it's pure dopamine. And the depth, it's pretty insane. You're not just upgrading weapons and stacking boons, you've got incantations, terror-like upgrades, a customizable witch hut, you can brew potions, plant stuff, there are rituals, side characters who evolve over multiple runs, and yes, like the first game, you're gonna die a lot. But death is basically progress, right? You got to die to progress. Every time you fall, the story pushes forward, relationships evolve, lore unfolds, and characters react. And look, we've seen a lot of roguelikes try to capture what Hades had. Some went full deck builder, some chased visuals, but none of them got close to the emotional pacing, right? The way Supergiant mixes mechanics with narrative, nobody else is doing it like this. Now, the biggest update so far was the Unseen update. It dropped in June 2025 and basically wrapped up the early access roadmap. It added new Guardian fights, new weapon styles, new dialogue, tons of it, and cleaned up the experience for the final stretch. The dev said this is for big content. From here on out, it's polish and prep for a full release, which brings us to the question everybody's asking. Should you play now or wait for 1.0? Well, here's the case for jumping in now. First, the game is already stacked. Like I said, there's more here than most full price games. It's not buggy, it's not empty, and you can easily spend 30, 40, or even 60 hours in early access and still have stuff to do. Second, you get to see the world evolve. Supergiant loves rewarding returning players. Dialogue shifts, NPCs remember things, and the world feels alive. But there's a case for waiting. Right now, there's no official ending. Kronos hasn't been fully implemented as a final boss. Some storylines cut off, and if you're the kind of player who binges everything in one go, you might burn out. And that's what happened to a lot of people in Hades 1, right? They played early, they loved it, then dropped off before the full launch. Reddit is pretty split. One comment says they already have 40 hours in, and they're still finding new dialogue. And while the others are feeling like, I'm going to hold off, because they want the full package. And honestly, both takes are fair. I prefer a full game. I don't like jumping in and then feeling like I'm getting teased, right? But the game is pretty special. You can feel it in the combat, in the character interactions, and the way each run feels handcrafted. This isn't just a sequel. It's pretty much a statement. Supergiant is saying, we're not just doing it again, we're gonna be doing it better. Now let's talk about what's actually new, okay? Surface world regions, that's right, you're not trapped in the underworld anymore. Some of your battles take place above ground, which changes the vibe completely. It's brighter, it's airier, the enemies hit different. We also got companions. You can bring allies into fights. Dora, the floating skull, Selene, the moon goddess, they're more than cosmetics. They have mechanics. Crafting, Melino isn't just a fighter, she's a builder. You've got a home base where you can plant, harvest, brew, enchant, and it's cozy. It's cozy and it's kind of chaotic, right? And the boons, they go deeper. Dual boons return, but now gods argue. You might have to pick sides. They remember, they hold grudges. It's all woven into how the world reacts to your decisions. And yes, the voice acting is still fire. The art, it's pretty immaculate. The music, we got Darren Korb, he came back. That man doesn't miss. Now let's answer the next big one, right? When does it come out? The full game. There's no date yet, but if you look at how long Supergiant spent on the first game's early access, it was about 20 months. It gives you a rough idea. Hades 2 launched May 2024, so people are betting late 2025, maybe even Q4. It all depends on how polished they make it. We don't know if it'll actually launch on the Switch. More likely, it'll probably launch on the Switch 2 and consoles like PlayStation and Xbox eventually, right? Now it's just PC and Mac, but history says they'll bring it everywhere once 1.0 drops. So where does that leave us? Hades 2 is better than the original mechanically. Yes, it's deeper, it's more refined, it's more confident. But it's too early to say. We don't have an ending yet, but we don't know how far it goes. But in terms of ambition, the game is 100% there. Supergiant isn't just chasing what worked, they're pushing into new territory, bigger characters, bolder systems. And it feels iconic. It might even win Game of the Year. So make sure you guys drop the like if you guys want more Hades 2 content. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.